I'm so sorry for being away all this time. It's just, I've been so busy thinking about you. It just paralyzes me. This is Synoptic, and we're going to be going through a 2v2, all TLG members, sunken jungle, large cache, large settings, to Portugal. The bottom red, on the right bottom is Carswell, bottom left red is Blonkers, Spain, currently in the camera, top right blue, Spectre, top left blue, playing as Ottomans is Dessouft. Now, they were so kind as to put the freaking setting with Sandstorm, although that is probably due to that bug which has been haunting the game ever since release. Don't know how hard that is to fix, but it must be gargantuan in difficulty. Now, if you want to keep an eye on the map, you're going to have to, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to miss out. All infantry is in squares, all cavalry in triangles, artillery X's, stars are the generals. Basic skirmish to start off with. Light infantry, the main advantage of Portugal is the skirmisher. They have the strongest light infantry of 100 range, and the tiradors are not bad as well. Very strong accuracy, although the reload's not too great. Quick jab there from Dessouft, taking advantage over Blonkers advancing light infantry, just not getting there fast enough. Jab, get out there. Now what Spectre's doing is putting a wedge with his cavalry, all of his cavalry in fact, right in the middle, stopping, or not stopping completely, but impeding reinforcement from Carswell and Blonkers to each other, and an inevitable mass cavalry attack on Blonkers if something doesn't happen soon enough. We're going to see a fair few good tactics. The main reason why I want to upload this one is because it's a mess of a battle and it's hard to say who dominated who. It's good moves from all of them, and it's one thing I'd like to imply is when you get to a certain level of experience, there's a lot of players out there who've reached it. It's pretty much anyone's game at that point. The battle just comes down to a couple of moves, and that will define the winner. So in saying that, there's no real great players, and this is one shot I had to get. There are a lot of things I find odd with this game. I think this is one played all the way from Empire Total War. That is artillery moving, ramming speed. Now, all that does is create less incentive to bring artillery, or let alone move artillery. So the person who buys it is more likely to stand still and camp. Camping, by definition, is very much powerful in this game, more so than Empire Total War, mostly due to the firing speed of the units. It's way faster, it's almost 3 times as fast. You can see this machine gun fire from one of the line infantry Ottoman units. Another jab from, this time, Blonkers into weaken the line infantry. Always good to charge the weak unit because they simply can't square, easy to break the line. However, Dessouft has some hidden units in the forestation there. And we're going to see one more hidden unit from Dessouft, which will be a defining part in this battle. And that's one thing I like about this map. I think it's the only thing I like about this map, is that you can hide a lot of units. There's a lot of forests. That's something missing from a lot of other maps where you can't really hide units from the start. Here you can. So this is one coming from deployment area with Dessouft. He has left the contingent army on the left. Blonkers has ignored it. He's charged a double line Cazador. Simple fact there is they're weak in melee and they can't square, easy target for cavalry, and they can linger there for a long time. What this does is occupying the entire center of Blonkers' army. It's going to take in 2 full unit cavalry from Blonkers, and what that has also done is isolated the contingent army from Blonkers as well. So what Spectre did earlier on was he made that wedge, we pointed that out earlier, so that creates major disincentive for Blonkers to attack on that side. So you have to keep stretching more and more on the left until Dessouft decided to pounce. And a stretched army is always weak in certain areas. Strong from the front, once you break through it's quite weak. So what this has done is it's sprung further cavalry assaults from Dessouft, and if you keep an eye on the map, on the right side, I can't show that, but Spectre has also mounted the assault. It's big on our initiative this fight, so the Spectre noticed that Blonkers was occupied and in come all his cavalry. Very much our mass cav assault. However, this is a major weakness for Spectre as well. On his main army, he has no cavalry, and you can see a small engagement. You can see the blinking colours on the right side. I can't show that either. There's a little engagement on Carswell and Coswell's left. So they punch through, and they're hitting the rears. Blancas tries his best to turn his units around, you can see there, but now Dessouft has even more cavalry coming in to hit the rear again. So this is making really quick work of the main army. And since the left contingent of Blancas was in the right outside the forest area, they're not going to be doing too much damage, and Dessouft occupied them with just one unit, all the while all his effort was pushed in the middle. So in concluding that part, it was just attacking a weakened force that had to stretch out, and it was just denied a flank with a teammate. And this is the major turning point of Carswell's battle. I'm going to show that now. Spectre is relying heavily on this contingent force, 2 guards and a line. That's enough firepower to bring any flank down. What Carswell does is going to be charging cavalry just to 4 squares and put them in a very disadvantageous position, if that's a word. Now what Carswell has is a 9-pounder artillery unit with a canister shot, and I believe he's using barrage as well. He has 1 line infantry plus that horse, and that is going to win that area. All the while, his more numerous forces are going to be attacking the main. So there's a big fight going on all fronts, and the main turning point will be whoever wins this engagement here. Now what was surprising is how many kills this canister shot gets. I can't really show it due to the weather condition, so it just looks like nothing is shooting at nothing, which is great. But continuous harassment with the cavalry. As I said before, there's no cavalry with Spectre on this side, so there's no real protection on the flanks, so he has to keep going square. And all that fire, I think earlier on I had the mouse over it. They were all full units before they got there, but the canister shot dwindled them, the guards, down to about 80 each before they even started firing. Again, strongly implying how bad it is for someone to run into fire because of the crazy firing speeds of all the units in the game and the relatively slow movement speed. So couple that with the artillery movement, the game is still very much in favour of a camper. Although there's no camping in this battle, all the players are attacking. But whoever gets that first shot is just so devastating. And if you didn't know that by now, I've learned that from this battle, is canister is bad for people's lives in general. I've never seen a canister do that much damage. Normally when I use canister, it just flies right above him or something, or he just hits a wall or a hill, for that matter. But there you have it. I think Carswell told me he got about 300 kills with his 2 cannons. He had another one in his main, heavily supporting the main attack. So that was pretty much short-lived, that fight there, mainly because all the fights were happening at once, and the turning point would have been whoever won that flanking assault. So Spectre had the superior weapons, but Carswell had a cavalry unit that could slow them down 4 squares and just deny that firepower advantage, plus a canister shot, which is pretty big on morale as well. And summing up Dessouft's fight with Blancas was that ninja cav, 1 ninja cav, and also Spectre's supporting cavalry, so they just kind of chopped him all at once. So both fights happened very quickly at the turning point. I think I showed their artillery being meleeed to death. Dessouft had a stock artillery, it limbered up and then got stuck between some trees. That was a moving one, but as we noted before, the movement speed is horror bad. So Blancas has some men left, specifically the contingent army. So now the problem is Dessouft is wedged in between Blancas' small army and Carswell's relatively full, complete army. So they're both going to try and do mid shield with dwindled units. Firstly, Carswell is going to try and melee some skirmishes, which gets some pretty comical results here. You got double melee from Dessouft. 2 Nizams. Create a nice little Portuguese sandwich. However, as you see with the bar, it's just that first fight was too costly for Dessouft, whereas Carswell had way more men in the end. So the result is pretty obvious at this point. However, we're still going to see some more mid shielding. I think Dessouft is going to go for a mass melee. What was funny was how similar the battles turned out to be. Both very dependent on the flanking attack, although they happened for different reasons. Spectre blocked Blanca's right flank, so he had to keep stretching the left. And now came the ninja from Dasuft, which occupied all the mid and allowed further assaults from both players, opposing players, Dasuft and Spectre. Now what happened with Carswell was he was actually winning the mid fight, mostly due to superior light infantry, canister shot, and cavalry assaults, which were answered by none as Spectres were being used against Blancas. And then that forced the final attack with the flanking infantry. A lot came down to that. If Spectre won that, he probably would have carried on firing on to the rest of the army with this crazy firepower. So a lot of little things happened which could have swung either way. Good game to those who played. Thanks for watching.